In 1972, writer David Morrell wrote the novel First Blood. It was the story of a drifter who wanders into a small town in Colorado. Before long, the drifter is arrested for vagrancy and is mistreated by the local police. What they do not realize is that a violent massacre is about to begin. The drifter is an unhinged killing machine. The drifter's name is John Rambo. In 1982, First Blood was adapted into a film by director Ted Kotcheff and starred Sylvester Stallone as John Rambo. The original novel's depiction of John Rambo was that of an unhinged Vietnam War veteran who massacres policemen and civilians. Stallone made major rewrites to the film, deciding to make Rambo more sympathetic by not having him kill anyone, the only on-screen death occurring when a cop falls from a helicopter when trying to shoot and kill Rambo. Like in the novel, Rambo was set upon by the town sheriff, here played by Brian Dennehy. After being arrested and mistreated by the police, Rambo lashes out and escapes. The police later learn that Rambo was a former Green Beret, a highly trained expert in guerrilla warfare. Rambo flees into the countryside, where he quickly turns the tables on the policemen, giving them a war that they cannot believe. Nearly 40 years on from its original release, First Blood remains one of the best action movies of the 1980s. Stallone, who at that time was best known for the Rocky films, was struggling to find another role that would equal the Italian Stallion. The film is beautifully shot on location, with first-class stunt work, and Stallone gives one of the best performances of his career. It's easy to forget now, as the later sequels in the series turned Rambo into more of a superhero, but here in the original movie, Stallone gives Rambo a raw believability who, despite his violent acts, remains sympathetic. Brian Dennehy is excellent as Sheriff Teasel, Rambo's adversary. While he's not a villain as such, he comes across as a man who underestimates his prey and can't let it go until he sees Rambo taken down. Richard Crenna plays Colonel Sam Troutman, Rambo's former superior, who tries to get Rambo to surrender peacefully. Kirk Douglas was originally cast in the part, but departed the project when he and Stallone disagreed about the film's ending. Special mention must go to Jerry Goldsmith's musical score for the film. It opens with a peaceful, almost romantic theme for the main character, a stark contrast to the violent nightmare that will soon descend on the peaceful town. Much has been written about the film's themes. Like the book, the movie is ultimately about the Vietnam War coming home to America. Many combat veterans found themselves ostracized after the war, and the film can be seen as a cautionary tale of what can happen when living killing machines like Rambo come home with severe PTSD. The biggest change from book to film is of course the ending. In the original novel, Rambo was killed by Colonel Troutman. Stallone, quite possibly seeing potential for sequels, wrote a new ending where Rambo survives, surrendering to the authorities and almost certainly a long prison sentence. First Blood remains for me the best of the Rambo movies. While the sequels were bigger and more expensive, the original has stood the test of time as a raw and gritty action film, unlike the vile propaganda fantasies the later films became. Rambo went on to become a cultural icon, arguably matching Rocky Balboa in popularity. Even the President of the United States seemed to be inspired by the character when stating his foreign policy. Rambo returned to Vietnam in 1985, and he would get to win this time.